Okay, welcome to the video. This is not going to be exciting bells and whistles. It will be very informative. It will be very useful. Before we get into that, though, I'm going to just give you a moment of silence. I'm going to scroll through the disclaimer. Also, you'll be able to find this disclaimer on our website. So just make sure you understand that trading of any type, whether it be Forex, futures, options, whatever the case may be, whatever you're trading, whether you're trading cryptocurrency, whether you're trading commodities, whether you're trading ETFs, all of this stuff is actually very risky. And so you should not use money that you cannot afford to lose. If your lifestyle will change if you lose money, then that is money that you should not trade. Okay? So nothing that I say in this video is to be construed as financial advice. This is educational information regarding how the market operates, and also personal experience how that I've developed since let's see, 2013, I believe, is when this process started for me. And then also there will be some information that we may, as a consultant, we may actually have a serious conversation, but you should always check with a professional accountant, attorney, tax attorney, estate planning attorney, etc., for certified financial planner to make your overall financial statements. So, at any rate, let's get through here. Get this over with. There's a lot of stuff here, and again, there'll be a link, but that's the gist of it. And so we've been here 2 minutes now. Let's go ahead and get rid of this and get over to the chart. Okay, so let me give you a little bit of ground rules for what we're going to do here. If you don't have the patience to get through this session, then you really don't have the patience to trade, because that is a key factor, is patience, and the ability to be coached and mentored. It comes right after patience, and then just being able to sit still. That's a big one. Okay, so what we're going to do here is right now I don't have any candles because we've expanded this chart. This is the indicator that we use. This is a invite only indicator. So this is something that we have developed and we've tested, and we've front run with this, and we use it. We use this daily. This is really where the rubber meets the road. Okay, so you're gonna see that there's these little dots, red and green, right? What I've done is I have actually just taken some time and just put the extended lines on here so that those red and green dots are easier to identify when we open the chart. Okay, and so we've corresponded. Our red is a sell recommendation, market opportunity, etc., and the green is a buy or a long, short sell, buy long. Okay, I remember, actually, to be honest with you, what I didn't understand what those terms meant. I didn't understand bearish and bullish. I didn't understand dovish and hawkish. These are all terms that over time you may actually get used to, or maybe you already know. But just a little side note, I wasn't born on Wall Street. All right, so now we have another set of indicators, not actually indicators, signals that are right here, okay? And then also I can change them here. So, but we're not going to use any of that right now, okay? We're going to just use the red and green for now, okay? All right. So now the next thing we're going to do, you're going to see over here, I have a separate chart, okay? I have a separate chart which right here, We've got a different strategy, same tool, different strategy. But this little puppy right here, this little rectangle, I've extended from right to left, and that will show up over here on this side in just a minute. But what that is that's a parameter that's a 25 tick rectangle that I've got extending right and left. And so anytime that we get into a situation where maybe we don't have the actual movement that we want to see, we're going to say, hey, okay, does the move go outside of 25 ticks? So what does 25 ticks mean? Well, it depends on what you're trading. Okay, I love to trade crude oil. So 25 ticks is $250 per position, per contract. Okay, futures. I trade crude oil futures. All right. There a couple things are that obviously your futures markets are regulated. We've also have access to currently have some access to some regulated funds. Through prop funds, we can help you get set up there. If you're looking at this from a I already trade, I already know where the money's at, I already can get money, I already have money, then that's great. If you're looking at this from a joint venture opportunity to where you can look at this as an income source, then we'll get into where the money's at in future modules. Okay, so let's just see how this works. Give me just 1 second. We're going to pause this. I'm going to come right back. Okay, sorry about that. So listen, before I go any farther, let me introduce myself. My name is Liam Pete. I am known also some as the earnings coach. I am Liam OG. A couple things. One, listen, I write poetry. That's what I do for my personal hobby. I'm going to be releasing a combination of a poetry NFT project probably over the next 18 months. So that's a little side personal thing. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids. All 5 of my kids have kids of their own. So this is not my first time around the block. Let's see what else. Oh yes, founder of CCFC Business Services, Funding America, as a cash flow consultant. I've worked with small businesses on their cash flow challenges since 1997. Okay, so my focus is in ways to bring funding and cash flow and financial relief the people around me, the people I interact with. Another project that we're working on, 2024 plans are we're going to be launching our own Forex based prop fund, and we're also going to be launching a non-profit solution, disadvantaged individuals with their financial pressures through financial literacy. And this right here is going to be a core project of this, because there are trillions and trillions of dollars. We have enough money. We have enough money. And so that's just a little bit about my personal convictions. But let's get to what you came here for right now, and see what tool we have at our disposal that may be able to help you with your challenges, and then hopefully you can get into our group, and hopefully you can become part of this bigger solution that we're working on with our nonprofit. Okay, so again, recap. Red and green dots are produced by our system. The red and green lines, I have taken some time this morning to add these so that they extend, because right now I'm not showing you the chart, I'm just showing you the indicator. Okay, I want you to be able to clearly see where these dots translate on the chart. Second thing, again, we're going to use this. We're going to pull this little puppy right here. There's a Renko chart, by the way, over here on the left. That's another strategy that we can use. Same red and green dots, Renko strategy. We're right now we're just going to do this one here, because the Renko, this is more of a longer term. If you can sit and basically swing trade. Okay, this over here onto the right, I'm going to use a little more active, a little more for if you have time pressure. Your swing trading may not be the strategy for you. Maybe you just want to get in, sit down for an hour, 2 hours, whatever. Make a few hundred to a few $1,000s. That's what we're going to focus on here. But this red rectangle is a 25 tick rectangle. Think maybe we have a failure? Is it fail outside of 25 ticks? Okay, if it fails outside 25 ticks, we're going to count that a loss. If it doesn't, if you have to be able to mentally sit on your hands and say, okay, it's at 23 tick, it's at 24 tick. And that doesn't actually happen all that often, but when it does happen, it's up to you whether you have the mental tenacity to just sit there and not close out the trade, because really, honestly, bottom line is if you get into these games, if you over leverage yourself, which means if you try to throw it all against the wall type of strategy, that's not going to work because you don't have pockets that deep. Your pockets are not deeper than Deutsche Bank. Your pockets are not deeper than BlackRock. Your pockets are not deeper than Bank of America. And trust and believe, every single one of those, I named those specifically because every one of those have literally been fined. Ooh, big whoop. They've been fined for cheating in the market. So not only do you not have bigger pockets, but they cheat. So what I'm suggesting is 25 tick against you. If you don't over leverage, you're going to come out fine even if you lose sometimes, because your gains will be bigger than 25 ticks and your gains will be more frequent than your losses. Therefore, this strategy is sound if you do not over leverage. I can occasionally hit a big trade with a lot of leverage and I can occasionally win. I can do that more frequently now than I could in the past, but I still don't do it. I still don't over position myself because they cheat. Okay, so 25 tick, you're going to see what's going to happen there. So what we're going to do is like I said, I went over here and I'm giving myself a little of space so that we can actually see this and I just put these corresponding lines. Okay, you can see that the system generates the dots. I added the lines. Okay, and then now let's do this. We're going to double click this. There we go. And there is a chart. Okay, let's go back. Give me a second here. Now on oil futures, every tick is worth $10. So a movement inside of an area about this big, that's 25 ticks, is $250, one direction or the other. Okay, you're either winning or losing when you cover about this much space. That's 25 ticks. So to give you an idea, some of these are, like, hang on one second, we'll do this. All right, so 25 ticks is right there. That's 25 ticks. That's $250. This particular run, if you caught all of this run, you would, on one contract, that run would have been worth $2,085.94 if you got it from the very beginning to the very end. Now, as you're going to see, our signal didn't catch from the end. Our signal didn't pick up until here. So that means that in that particular case, if we had held that entire signal, this is a 2-minute chart. So how many bars? 21 bars. And from our generated signal to our next generated signal, so that's 21 bars or 2-minute bars. So that means this is 42 minutes, $1,600.05. Now let's just check one little thing real quick. Let me do this. Let's do this. See if we had any other. We had any early. Oh look, we had our other signals. The other signal picked up the rest. Okay, so the other signal was there. So these are strategies you're going to learn. But I just want to show you the simplest system. But so either way, that was a nice move right there. That we literally had signals that just said, hey, here's some information that you might be able to use at your own discretion. And if you had used it at your own discretion, you would have had somewhere in the neighborhood up to about $2,300 if we started at the top, right? Okay. So, but anyway, let's just move on. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go back here until I stop seeing. Oh, by the way, these little lines right here, these are lines that I drew over here on the Renko. This is more the swing trade, and those lines corresponded over to this chart. But we're not going to talk about those lines. Just more information depending on your strategy, depending on how you want to do this. Let's just go over here and let's just see. I don't know exactly how far I went back. We'll just go until we see a large space that we didn't have any. There We don't have any more bread in the line. It did take a little bit of time. All right, so this looks like this is where we started. Yeah, that was where we started. Okay, we're going to look at a red and a green dot, and we're going to see if the corresponding following candles down here change in accordance with our suggested line. Okay, and if they don't, we're going to bring our 25 tick stop loss range into play and see if we get stopped out or if we just continue to hold until we actually see a profit. Okay, as you can see here, we're in a ranging market right in through here. This is all Asian session, and so there's not a whole lot going on. All right, but now we get into, we're going to see some action. Then we're going to go into the more active session. So if you're trying to bank up at night, that's probably not going to be a solution. However, there are some good moves. There are definitely some good moves. Eastern Standard Time, you're talking 9, 10 o'clock at night. You start to see some opportunities on, typically. All right. And then obviously if you're on the West Coast or you're over in Hawaii, then that's a different time of day for you. So, it might not be, you may have an opportunity, but let's just see here. Okay. So we had a buy. Did we get any corresponding signals from a buy? Well, we got a little tiny move here, and then pretty much the candles turned red. So let's grab our safe zone. Okay. And then the other thing I did is, if you look right here, we'll leave that there. We'll leave that there because that is what you want. That's the puppy you want right there. And you can, this is us. This is ours exclusive. So you'll see the strength and power in this, and you'll understand that the potential it has for increasing your trading capacity. It's very simple to follow. One thing I hear from a lot of people is all those lines and colors. I just can't do that. And I'm like, listen, first of all, you can. Stop believing you can. Because if you can play Fortnite, or if you can play Candy Crush, or if you can, you can navigate the housewives of whatever, you can do this. You just need to train your brain. If you've been conditioned mentally by a system of politicians and money changers to believe that the only thing you can do is stand at Walmart and either run your own cashier so you can check yourself out so you don't have to pay anybody, or you can put stuff on the shelves. Okay? Trust me, you have way more capacity than that. I'm not any smarter than you are. I don't have any more brain cells than you do. Well, actually, that's actually not true. I do actually have it's called a vestibular schwannoma. I actually have a brain tumor almost the size of a golf ball that I've had for apparently enough years that once I found out, I couldn't sue the hospital that didn't tell me when it was much smaller and operable. But listen, so I'm sitting here telling you right now, not only was I not born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and not only do I have extra brain cells, which I don't need, I can do this, you can do this. But let's get on, mindset. If you sign up with me, I'm going to be your best cheerleader, your best motivator, your best empowerer, and I don't think that's a real word, but at the same time, I'm gonna call it like it is. I'm gonna tell you, listen, this is the reason why you need to retrain your brain. If you've been a trader and you've failed, well then guess what? Throw all that stuff out the window, throw all the stuff you think you know, and start over. There's nothing wrong with starting over. Or you could just, continue whatever you're doing that's not working. But I don't think you want to do that. And the reason that I can tell you with some accuracy that that's not what you really want to do is if you really want to do that, you wouldn't be watching this presentation right now. You wouldn't be looking. All right, so watch this. We had a signal. We had a little tiny bump in the price. Nothing to write home about whatsoever. What, 95, 2-3 points? That's, $20-30. So was it right? Yeah, it was right, but not enough to change anything, okay? So now let's see if it was wrong enough to change anything. So we got this green. We came in, just say hypothetically, came in. We thought the market was going to go this way because the little green dot told us it was going to go that way. Now, did it go outside of the range because 25 ticks? Because I set my stop 25 ticks. It did not stop me out. Okay, it did not come down here. I got another signal, but I'm not in profit, but I'm also not stopped out. All right, so personally, I'm going to hold. You might do something different, but I'm going to hold, okay? Because I don't want to come into a trade and lose money unnecessarily, and I've allowed myself to say, okay, I'm going to lose 250 bucks. Those of you who are sitting here saying, I don't have 250 bucks to lose. Okay, that's fine. Guess what? I'll show you where you can get someone else's money, and it won't cost you 250 bucks to get their money, but they will actually let you lose more than you actually put on the line. Okay, and that's called leverage. Okay, OPM, other people's money. Learn it, know it, use it. Trust and believe. Okay, let me think. Does the bank use other people's money? Yes. Does the government use other people's money? Yes. Should you use other people's money? Yes. Okay, so listen. And you know what? I know I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's fine. That's fine. If you're like, yeah, I'm done with this guy, and you leave, that's okay. Oh, we got to do this. We move this one over here, and we got to move this one over here. Okay. All right. So I personally didn't leave this zone, okay, because I didn't get stopped out. It's like, yeah, I'm not gonna drop half. I'm not gonna drop my 125 or 180, whatever this is. I'm not dropping that. I'm gonna wait. Okay, you're going to have to take me out of this because I'm not just giving up on my own. You know, you're going to have to knock me out. I am not just going to run away. Okay, we're still safe. Boom. Okay, this one here, I'm ignoring it. Okay, now I've been invited to re-enter the market, so that's a confirmation that maybe things are going to start looking my direction. Okay, another confirmation. Maybe things are going to start going my direction. Maybe things are going to start going my direction. Oh, by the way, you know, what have we got? This is 36 minutes of your life, okay? They're just like, okay, what else am I doing? You know, what are my potentials? Well, we know we looked at one potential that we had a, you know, $2,000 session in 45 minutes. So, you know, I'll sit here and I'll wait this out. Not as exciting and as thrilling as Fortnite, but you can't spend Fortnite. Can spend money that you make in the market. We're still just, let's get through this. Obviously, we're just going through this. We haven't seen anything. We're still inside of our zone. We just ranged. It's really boring, but there it is, okay? And oh, by the way, you don't have to sit here and watch this because you can get a text message every time one of these pops up, or an email, or a pop-up on your screen, or an alarm, or all of the above. You can do these things. People ask me about automation. Currently, we cannot automate this because we don't have we're working on it. But for now, our first automation is probably going to come in crypto, in the crypto world. And the other thing is, second question, you know, can I trade, you're trading oil. Do I have to trade oil? You're trading oil futures. Do I have to trade oil futures? No, you don't have to trade oil. You don't have to do anything. You know, never forget that. You do have to do one thing. You do have to do one thing. A couple things, actually. You got to love your kids, and you got to honor your commitments. Okay, those are two things that I'll stand behind all day, every day. But other than that, let's talk about these markets. I can trade the NQ. I can trade gold futures. I can trade currency futures. I can trade currency spot. I can trade regular stocks. The only thing that I would say to you that I have no commentary on is whether you can trade options with the strategy, because I don't know the first thing about options. I do have an associate who is working on that. We work very closely together, so I'm going to let him put in that work and bring me his results, which will then I will review. In the meantime, between time, this is good enough. Okay, there's a lot of freaking money in these markets, you know, and I really love oil. Okay, because that's a tangible. Okay, so I'm making this contract on futures contract on something that's actually tangible, rather than, you know, like your ES or your NQ, or those are paper off of products. But anyway, another world, another conversation. What are we doing here? All right, so we came out. We didn't get stopped out, and then we came out of here, And now we're in profit. Now we're in profit. And so here is the first spot where we're in profit. And let's just see. Go along. We didn't get stopped out. We didn't get stopped out. We finally went into profit. Now we're in profit. Now we're looking for the next red line. Okay. We're talking about Heikinashi. So let's just go to the middle of the bar. 13 ticks at $10 a tick, $130. You literally sat in a chair. You got text messages that said, hey, look at your screen. You went to your screen, you look, you've got multiple text messages inside of this period of time here. Basically 4 hours, okay? 4 hours. And this is beginner level, okay? Listen, the beautiful thing about this is these 4 hours are worth different amounts of money to people depending on how long they've been doing this or how much money they have accumulated by doing this. So I'm talking beginner level. You come in, you have no faith, no confidence, and you're just like, okay, I'm going to press this button. I'm going to use other people's money. I'm going to then press this button, and then I'm going to follow these simple rules. I'm going to have, if it takes me out, I'm going to have it take me out $250 down. I'm using other people's money, so it's okay. If it goes into profit, I'm going to wait until the opposite color pops up, the little dot. So I started on a green dot, so I'm going to wait until I get in profit, and then I'm going to wait for a red dot, okay? That red dot, bam, I made $130 approximately if I closed at that precise moment. Now, I may have closed a little farther up, a little close down, but I made 100, 130, 150 bucks, somewhere in that neighborhood, okay? Now, you do that for 30 days, okay? You still have your regular job, and then all you do is make $130 every 4 hours at night, okay? So for 30 days, in a 30-day month, there's 20 to 21 trading days. We'll say there's 20. Basically, you've added about $2,500 to $3,000 to your bottom line, okay? Now, if you are just beginning, better if you don't spend that. And I'm going to tell you why. You're like, well, why would I make money that I don't spend? Because guess what? Now, next month, you can do the exact same thing that you did this month, but instead of putting one contract on, you can put 2 contracts on. Now, that same 13 bars is worth $20 per bar. So now, you're making $260. Let's just say this. Let's just talk about the same exact month, okay? A person who traded with one contract, made the exact trade, would make approximately $3,000 inside of their first month. Another person who came in and they had a little more to work with, so they put on 2 contracts, okay? So then in that case, that 2 contracts, this zone right here is now $500 worth of risk instead of $250. So that's why you gotta have more in your pockets, because if it goes against you, the allowable movement in price, you've got double the loss, okay? But you have double the gain. So now I've got 260 to this upside, okay? And my ratio still, this isn't the best ratio, but this isn't what we call a sideways market. This is when the market's barely moving. This system can make you profitable. If the market's moving, even better. All right. But so now the person who put on 2 contracts in the same month, they made $6,000. Now another person comes in and they make the same exact trades, everything's identical except for their position size. 2 things change. This risk zone goes from 250 to 500 to 750, but this gain period would go 130, 260, 390. So this is worth 390. Same amount of time is worth different amounts of money to different people who have different levels of pockets, okay? So if you don't have deep enough pockets, or you can't leverage enough of other people's money, then you need to put in time equity. Okay? If you have these other things, then you don't necessarily have to have time equity, but I would say you still need to use time equity getting started, because you need to familiarize yourself and you need to build that inner gut, that inner nerve, because if you don't have that inner nerve, you're going to go, okay, I'm just going to trade on the reds and the greens, and you're going to be like, oh, well, here's a red, or I went green, but it went red, so I'm closing out, and I lost someone else's money, and I lost I lost $180 or whatever. Let's see, how much is that? And listen, folks, I know this is not entertaining. I'm not here to entertain you, okay? That's somebody else's job. That's $150. If you don't have time tenacity, you're going to go red, green, and that specific situation, you're going to walk away, and you're going to drop $150. It's going to take you a hot minute of back and forth, and you're literally, your brain will fry. You will give up. You will walk away. You have to get the tenacity. Like, okay, I put on one contract. This Liam guy told me that I would lose $250 if I waited. If it went past this, I can handle $250. Okay, another dot happened. Okay, I still am not. He said $250, so let me. And you got to create that mental tenacity in order to do this. So if you double down and say, now you're having that same, you started right off rip, like, oh, I want to make that 260 instead of that 130. Well, guess what? When you get to this point right here, now there's $300 on the line. Someone else's money, that's fine, but they have rules. They have rules about using their money, and so you have to be. You have to be a little bit cautious there. If it's not their money, or it is, if it's your money, can you just sit there and, hey, oh, I lost $300. This doesn't even work. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. Okay, maybe. Well, let's say that it's $450 because you went 3 in, or maybe you went 10 in. So this is $1,500 right here. All right. Now, if you went 10 in, this would be $1,300. But if you haven't gained the strength of repetition and trust that you can develop only with time, this will not work for you. So my suggestion is, look at this as this month as on the job training. Okay. And I'm not on this job. I'm on my regular job, and I'm just training for this. This is night school or morning school, or whatever it is, but it's not time to get paid the first 30, 60, or even 90 days. After that, you can get paid, okay? And you can get paid well. So let's move on. All right. Like, okay, what else? Show me something real. Okay. So now we're over here. We closed this trade. Now you have two options. You can instantly enter the opposite direction, or you can wait. That's up to you. Let's see if we did any good here. Went right here, middle of the bar, and we got, all right, so there. Now what we want to see is from this bar, we want it to go down, but did it go up outside of this range before we saw another signal? So we're no good here. We get another entry signal to the downside, and we do get a little bit of movement, but it's really inconsequential. Again, 30, 50, 30, $40, whatever, no big deal. Now we go over here, and then we start seeing some opposite play, okay? And we don't have a signal. We don't have anything here that is telling us to exit, or do we? Oh, our secondary backup signal system told us go long here, okay, on this candle. So we would have potentially taken a minor loss, and then we would have caught this. And we would have taken that signal, that long signal, until we found a red signal. Info line, let's go from the middle of the bar, because it's Heikin-Ashi, and we'll go to our middle of our bar on a red signal. 14, 15 tick. There's another $140, $150. Now, we're going to leave these puppies on right here, okay, because these pop up, and you can also get text messages and email and pop-ups on your screen with alarms letting you know, hey, look at your chart, you put a trade on, and then you went to grab a cup of coffee, or whatever you're doing, but your device was with you, so you got an alert. So now we're positive here again, okay? So I'm still winning, okay? I'm still winning. And don't worry, listen, we've got one-on-one mentoring sessions available. We've got video content that you can review. This is simple, and all you're doing is waiting for these red and green lines, okay? We got a green bar with a green candle, so we took that green bar up, and I could close. I'm in money, and I'm nowhere near this. Let's find the next one. The next one is right here at 33.